Another sizzling summer day, perfect for Disney Parks talk. Hey, if you'd like to win your very own Kingdom Report mug, all you got to do is leave the phrase that pays underneath this very video following the live broadcast. After the live show is over, head on down to the comment section and leave the phrase that pays Epcot Forever. Epcot Forever is the phrase that pays this week. Yeah, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time in which to enter. If you're the winner, we will get that mug shipped your direction and reach out directly. Again, Epcot Forever in the comment section beneath this video right after the live broadcast. And on today's show, we are going to be discussing the return of Fantasmic and exactly what that means for Disneyland Park. Of course, speaking of Disneyland Park, alcohol options are expanding into other restaurants. We'll talk about it. We also have an update on the Magic Key Pass holder lawsuit Disney has settled, and a Disney DeSantis lawsuit update as well, as that continues to rage on. Plus, making the most of Disney Springs and a lot more. Travel agent Katrina Manzoni is here, alongside theme park analyst Tyler Crouch. He's also here. Garrett Hassel is our reporter. He's joining us too. And I'm Wade Heath. I'm your host. I'm also here. Your Disney family is set and ready for a new Kingdom Report Live, and it starts in 50 seconds.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
A live look outside of the Disneyland Resort shows us a simmering hot day out at the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, I gotta tell you, when you go dropping in that place, you are screaming for your life, but it is a real joy. One of those attractions that I've always thought, like, man, the whole redo of it, pretty spectacular, and on top of it, a completely different vibe when you think about it, from going into total fear with the Twilight Zone branding, and then going into a lot of fun with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I do have to say. And welcome on in to your Disney family. Hi everyone, Wade for the Kingdom Report, back with you once again here in the Warner Brothers Studios Media District in beautiful Burbank, California, right around the corner from the Walt Disney Studios, right around the corner from, yes, all of the writers and actors that are screaming for better treatments. They're all over the place in this area. But we are live for you here because Disney Parks magic, it doesn't know any sort of pause. No, it continues regardless of what else is happening in the world. We do our best to bring you all the magic from coast to coast, and there it is. Did you feel it? I know I did.
I felt something.
Something in there. Thank you, Tinkerbell, for bringing your magic to what it is that we do here. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, The Kingdom Report on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're thinking. You absolutely need to subscribe. In addition to that, hit that thumbs up button, and you can download this via audio podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Head on over and check out The Kingdom Report, wherever you get your podcasts, and rate and review. It always means an awful lot to us. Who is us, you might be asking? Well, your Disney family is more than just one ugly mug. There are plenty of beautiful mugs that accompany that, and they are alongside me today. Ladies and gentlemen, our princess in residency, the travel agent extraordinaire, Katrina Manzoni, alongside theme park analyst Tyler Crouch with me in studio. Hey, you two.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
I first thought you were going to say there was going to be like 2 more ugly faces.
Not at all.
And I was like,
never.
oh, watch out.
I'm not that guy.
He didn't say faces. He was talking about mugs.
Mugs. These mugs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mugs.
These
Mine's
are pretty
ugly.
mugs.
Those two are nice.
The blue is the best one. Get the blue one.
That's
Pretty
nice.
stunning.
Barbie color.
Or you can get, it is very Barbie-esque,
Huh?
or you can get a different color courtesy of the Kingdom Report store at kingdomreportlive.com. Just scroll on down and check it out. Also joining us, our Golden Goose reporter Garrett Hassel standing by. Good day to you, my friend.
Good day to all of you. It's a bright and sunny day. The Disney parks are open. Florida's really hot and sticky and muggy, but I'm in air conditioning, so I'm pretty happy.
That is how it is done. Oh, I'm so glad that you are keeping your cool. And I do believe that you have the honors of kicking off the show toast today. What are we toasting to, sir?
We are going to be toasting to something that I've been excited for several months. And look at this. I actually have my own mug this time. Look at
That's
that.
my mug.
Wow.
No, that's
No,
orange.
Oh, it's
this is-
orange.
no, this
Oh, it looks
This
pink.
is orange, baby.
Okay.
It's orange.
All
Finally
right.
got one.
Back it
Yeah.
up. Back it up.
Yeah. So I'll be doing a toast to the new Haunted Mansion movie, which I'm going to be seeing this weekend. I have been pumped for it. It looks exciting. It has all the thrills and chills that came with the ride. And even though some people have been bagging it on the ratings, I will give you my 2 cents and let you know how enjoyable or non-enjoyable it is. I thought the Eddie Murphy one was fun. This one looks even
Was
better.
it?
It's got Danny DeVito.
Cut him off.
I was like 12 at the time. It was really good, but this
No.
one looks really good. And you got Hatbox Ghost as the villain. What? So cheers to you,
Spoiler alert.
Haunted Mansion.
God, I didn't know that. But okay.
Now we all do.
Cheers. Cheers to
Have you not watched
spoilers.
it? How is it a spoiler? It's in the trailer where it's like.
It's not that big of a deal. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay, then. Cheers.
I love you. Cheers. Cheers to you, Garrett.
Thank you.
You're telling me that 90 minutes of Eddie Murphy screaming was not a good film?
Hey, I loved him screaming in Mulan. And he was a dragon.
I didn't
Okay.
think about that for a
Okay.
second.
I was like,
All
wait a
right.
minute. And Donkey.
I suppose so.
All right.
Yeah, boy, I was thinking, I'm like, wait,
You like
was
him in
was
cartoon
it Eddie
form, I
Murphy, or
suppose.
was it Chris Rock? I was trying to think of like which big like 90s star it was, but it was Eddie Murphy for sure.
Oh, Eddie Murphy. Yes. Well,
He's a
and thank you
treasure.
for the cheers to the Haunted Mansion. Let us know if you have ventured out to see it and what you think. We would love to hear from you. And let's get you caught up on your headlines. I believe it is time for the Disney News Review. Disney News Review time, taking a look at some of the biggest stories from across the Walt Disney Company. Starting at Disneyland Resort, the Orange County Register reports that Disneyland has reached a settlement with a Magic Annual Pass holder who claimed in a class action lawsuit that the Anaheim theme park misled and deceived its most loyal fans by artificially limiting capacity and restricting reservations, according to court documents. The complaint filed by Disneyland Magic Annual Pass holder Janelle Nielsen of Santa Clara County has reached a settlement, according to court documents. Nielsen's motion for court approval of the class action settlement is due August 31st. The $5 million lawsuit filed against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts on behalf of all Magic Key annual pass holders alleges Disneyland relegated them to, quote, second-class ticket holders by artificially limiting Magic Key reservations and the number of pass holders that can visit on any given day. The settlement agreement was filed July 20th on behalf of Nielsen and all other similarly situated, according to court documents. Details about the settlement and what it means for pass holders will be announced by August 31st, according to Mice Chat, saying, "We're keeping an eye on it, but don't expect to get rich on your payout," close quote. And speaking of lawsuits, Wesh.com reports the Walt Disney Company on Wednesday filed its response to Governor Ron DeSantis' motion to dismiss the lawsuit against him, which seeks to overturn a state law that transformed the makeup of the Reedy Creek Improvement District. For decades, the leaders of that district had all been chosen by Disney, but the 2022 law gave that power to the governor. Disney sued, saying that the move violated its First Amendment right to free speech and was political retaliation for its former CEO, Bob Chapek, publicly criticizing Florida's parental rights and education law. DeSantis' lawyers claimed last month that he is immune from such lawsuits and that he is not the one who enforces the law that was approved by state legislators. But in Wednesday's court filing, Disney's lawyers say DeSantis has boasted about the battle against the company, even calling himself, quote, the new sheriff in town, close quote. Disney lawyers wrote in the filing, saying having demanded public credit for abrogating Disney's contracts, the governor cannot escape responsibility when called to answer for the action in court. The motion also says DeSantis has claimed ownership of the war with Disney. And back at Disneyland, the popular Fantasmic show will return next spring after a one-year closure prompted by a fire that engulfed the show's giant prop dragon, according to Deadline. Quote, with the goal of delivering the best possible show for our guests, performances of Fantasmic are currently paused until spring 2024, according to park officials that announced it this week. The new show will no longer feature the dragon, but will instead add new special effects during the climactic battle between Sorcerer Mickey and Maleficent. No one was injured when the dragon caught fire in April, but park officials temporarily suspended fire effects similar to those used at Fantasmic at select shows worldwide. Also in Anaheim, starting September 12th, 3 restaurants in Disneyland will start serving alcohol for the first time. The Carnation Cafe on Main Street, the Riverbell Terrace in Frontierland, and Cafe Orleans in New Orleans Square will start serving beer, wine, and specialty cocktails. Some of the new options will include Bloody Mary, a Wild Berry Mule, and Peach Pie Margarita. Disneyland had been a historically dry park with the exception of Club 33 up until the more recent opening of August Cantina in 2019 and some experimental libations over at the Blue Bayou restaurant. Certainly, one of the stories worth touching on from the news of the week is the fact that Disneyland has expanded its alcohol options across now multiple restaurants in Disneyland Park. Tyler, what was once a dry park has increasingly seen more alcohol options added in recent years. Your thoughts on more booze in Walt's original Magic Kingdom?
Honestly, I think it was only a matter of time, and I'm not worried about it. I think if it was out there like at California Adventure, where you can just kind of walk up to a stand and purchase a beer or whatever, any kind of cocktail like you can over there, then I think things would be a little bit different. Maybe I would have a little bit more of a problem with it. But I mean, I knew from the moment they put August Cantina in Disneyland, that was them dipping their little big toe into the swimming pool of alcohol. And I knew it was only a matter of time before we were going to start seeing more. And sure enough, we see it at Blue Bayou. And it only makes sense to bring it to other restaurants, too. I have zero problem with that because, like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to be getting trashed on beer at a restaurant? I just don't think, and they're going to have, like, their specialty cocktails at a couple of these restaurants. But, I've had the Hurricane at Blue Bayou, and that just is basically sugar. I mean, it's not a great drink, and you're going to have to get really sick before you feel a bunch from that. Anyway, my point is that it's not going to be just like Party City. It's not going to be like people getting, throwing up in the streets or anything like that. It's
wasted.
You know what I mean? I think overall, I don't have a problem with it. I am curious if their next step is to expand it a little bit more. And I've always thought since they built Tropical Hideaway that there will come a time where we're going to see pineapple floats or Dole pineapple floats. Excuse me. You got to put the name in there, with rum in them. So, and again, it's going to be like 1 ounce of rum. They're not gonna serve it to you on the side or anything like that.
Maybe 1 ounce, probably gonna be a half an ounce.
Maybe even a half ounce of rum, but they're gonna keep it minimal. And I guarantee you, someday we're gonna see rum at the Tropical Hideaway. And I think that's the direction we're headed.
A splash of rum, you say?
Yeah, but I guess they don't do that in Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. So even though Magic Kingdom does have more restaurants that have beer and wine in them, but I just feel like Tropical Hideaway is like. Well, there's the perfect excuse for them.
There's a way that you can block in and out at Tropical Hideaway versus Magic Kingdom. Like there is nothing that you can do, but you can put it in a separate color cup, and then you can have someone like manning the sides where you cannot leave unless you finish it.
Yeah, I just Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. I just think it's going to be so minimal that it's like there's no way you could get drunk unless you order like 10 of those, and then you'll just be throwing up because you're eating too much
And then you're gonna be
sorbet.
broke.
Yeah. So
Tyler,
yes.
have you over in the world of Pandora? You know how they have the mech suit and they have that like little shot Pongo Pongo,
Yeah.
and you know how they have the Night Blossom. What's the I guess the alcoholic version of it? Is the alcohol infused into the smoothie, or is it something like a little shooter that they add on top of it?
I'm honestly not. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure. I do know that like in Animal Kingdom they do have the rum with the pineapple floats,
And it's a half an ounce.
and you're right. It's a half an ounce, and it's like, there's no way you could just buy rum on the side or anything like that. It's like it goes straight in there, and they have their specific recipe. So I could see that happening at Disneyland too someday, but. I got no problem with this situation. I think people who do things change, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Walt Disney smoked cigarettes every day of his life, all day of his life. In fact, it killed him. And I think he would probably have a different attitude if he knew his future when it comes to cigarettes. So I just think, times change. Sometimes it's okay to move on. He didn't want alcohol in the park, but I don't think it's going to be like feel any less classy than it does right now.
Yeah.
For how expensive the dining is, I mean, it would be nice, especially Blue Bayou, you have a steak. You're like, oh, I would like to have a red wine or like wine with my salad, whatever. And then for, Cafe Orleans, it's a beautiful outside area. You can sit down and people watch and have like a nice glass of wine or a really sugary cocktail or a beer or something with your overpriced foods and whatnot. And like with the food, this coming in, that means they're going to probably raise their prices even more now because it's going to be like a luxury item, even more of a luxury item. But I mean, it's nice. It's like a nice choice to have.
And Walt originally stating that he thought families could have fun together without alcohol being involved was an initial foray into building a theme park for the first time. And here we are all these years later, where you are absolutely right. It seems like things have changed, and public perception seems to have changed quite a bit, even from the last time around where initially they started offering more alcohol in different places, especially when Magic Kingdom kind of went all in at certain facilities and saying, yeah, no, it's happening. We're doing the alcohol thing now. I remember the initial outrage, and then it kind of tapered off, and nobody really talked about it, and it went away. And we wanted to poll you, the Kingdom Report audience, and here's what you had to say when we asked specifically, how do you feel about alcohol being available in multiple Disneyland restaurants now? 37% of you said, doesn't matter to me. 29% of you said, disappointed. And 35% of you said, glad to see there are more drink options. So again, 37% saying doesn't matter to me, 29% saying they are disappointed, 35% saying glad to see more drink options. Garrett, any percentage on this poll that stands out to you as something worth reacting to?
Just that the doesn't affect me. Sounds good to me. Like, I think having the drink availability at Disneyland is completely different than, say, Epcot. Because Epcot, people will go drinking around the world, and some people do get a little sloshed and make some scenes and everything, and then Disney security has to get involved, and you got to sober them up or whatever. But Disneyland is a completely different creature altogether. It was designed with families in mind, and I think if they keep it at these little venues and even Tropical Hideaway, or even you get a mint julep over where Tiana's restaurant is going to be. I think it would fit well, and people aren't going to get completely sloshed. Plus, the prices that they have for these, which are it could be $15 for one drink with minimal alcohol. People aren't going to spend an arm and a leg to try and get drunk. I think Disneyland has a perception and has a personality where you don't want to sully that by getting drunk and having a rager and going crazy. Even over in California Adventure, where they do have food and wine that you can sip and stroll and all that. I rarely hear of any reports of any kind of incident breaking out over there about someone drinking too much and all that. Versus Walt Disney World, it's more of a common occurrence. So I'm fine with this. It doesn't affect me. I'm down for the rum and the pineapple because every good pirate always has to ask, why is the rum gone? So I'm all for it. Bring it on. Like I'm wearing a very bright, flamboyant Hawaiian shirt. So I'm all for it.
Savvy. That's right.
Yeah.
Got to go for that
Yeah.
rum.
I'm the representative for Tropical Hideaway today because Tyler did decide not to match me.
I'm sorry. I didn't get
Rude.
the phone call.
There didn't need to be a phone call. It should be just us. No.
Telepathic.
Yeah,
Thought
absolutely.
you two had a
Absolutely.
connection.
Okay.
Never mind.
Well, next time I'll know what you're wearing somehow.
Okay.
I'll figure that
All
one
right,
out.
Just check the
we'll match
webcam
it
in the
up.
morning. That's right. We know Garrett loves his OnlyFans account, that's for sure. And we want to know from all of you when it comes to this whole new approach in offering up alcohol in more places at Disneyland Park, your thoughts on whether or not that is something that bothers you. Maybe you're disappointed in it. Maybe it doesn't matter to you at all. We would love to hear what's on your mind. Another big story from the past week is the announcement by Disneyland that Fantasmic is in fact returning, but it's being delayed until spring 2024 now. According to Disney, Fantasmic in Disneyland is now delayed until spring 2024 as mentioned, and they claim it will be returning without the dragon that caused this downtime. Katrina, what are your thoughts on the delay and the show returning without its epic evil figure?
Oof. I mean, at first I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I kept reading and I was like, oh no, they're taking it away. That sucks. And it's really disappointing. I'm glad that they're bringing it back. I mean, they kind of have to. There's a point where they're trying to do spring because at least they can try to get the summer crowd to split in half, because I can only imagine how bad it is now with having just like one nighttime show. I was about to say two, and I was like, well, that doesn't count for the parade. But having like one nighttime show and that's it, versus like two showings of Fantasmic, and then I'm sure like, you know, the restaurant upcharges and stuff for like the nighttime Fantasmic packages and stuff are like, you know, they're probably taking a toll, like a hit at that point.
That's why we got to push alcohol into more restaurants across Disneyland. We got to make
That's
up for this
right.
money
That's true.
somehow.
Kind of make up some price. I mean,
I wonder if
it's
they're
going
going to put alcohol in the dessert packages now. Anyway.
Oh,
sorry.
Dessert packages. Where?
For like when Fantasmic comes back.
Oh.
I mean,
They
you
do two drinks at World of Color.
But they don't have a dessert thingy for Fantasmic. They never did. It's always just dinner.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the dessert tray at one time. Way
Oh,
back
so
when.
good.
Yeah.
He did it for us one time, and it was so legit. It was so nice.
Bring it back. Anyway, you were saying.
Anyway,
Sorry, yes.
it was fun. But I am sad that they're like kind of removing Murphy off of this, and it's just kind of disappointing. So I wonder if they're going to be doing like a B mode Maleficent or something where it's just kind of lackluster, or if they're going to be doing some other type of puppetry for Maleficent, and they're trying to like figure out how to bring Maleficent at the end. But I feel like that's a big thing.
I thought they said that Mickey was going to have like a new battle with her, like with Maleficent.
But like, what is it?
Yeah, what
Well,
new
yeah,
effects are
we
they
don't
adding?
know exactly what yet, but I think that
Is it puppetry?
I don't think they're. I
Is it
think
like
what they're
the
implying.
characters dressing up as Maleficent running around like how they did the snake?
I think they're implying there won't be any.
Or what about
don't
the
know.
screen
Waterworks?
that they do?
What was that, Garen?
Because over in like Fantasmic, you know, out at Hollywood Studios, if the crane dragon, as long as they don't put that in, everything will be good.
That's what I'm scared about.
If it's not working, they do the fan spray, and then they project on that of like the dragon being taken down by Mickey, and they just water pressure, just as much water pressure as possible. I can't imagine Mickey fighting Maleficent like eye to eye, because Maleficent's got that big old staff. Like I wouldn't want to take that on. Mickey's great, but like that thing, like Maleficent, she does them curls. She's got them biceps. You don't see them.
What if they did like stilt walking? Because that'd be really cool if they tried to create some other type of Maleficent without fire.
Without fire.
You know what I mean? But still give that like, whoa, and like put Maleficent like on stilts to come out and do like some type of cool puppetry with Mickey down on the bottom of like that little hill. Then that would be cool. You know,
That might be fun.
to give some type of illusion that like Maleficent's walking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Projection mapping
I'm
on-
glad it's
on
coming
this-
back. It's nice, you know, but it is disappointing that they're not going to bring like the main area, like the main thing coming back, like with the
what all of
fire
this
and
is
like the
built
fire
around,
rain and the
right?
water. It's just so cool.
It's
Such a tiny area too, so it makes it even cooler. You know, because like if they brought that Maleficent like maybe in Disney World, it's such a big arena where it could be cool, but then I don't know. But for some reason, it's just Rivers of America is so tiny, and you're like up right against the fence, and then she breathes fire, and then the fire gets to the water, and then it goes everywhere, and then, you know, Mickey's like, oh no, and like it's just so great. It's so cool.
The intimacy of the Disneyland one makes for a much more grand feeling when she arrives. I agree, and I think that to waste a year to get to the return of this thing, and I know that they said new effects are coming. But returning without this dragon, why are we waiting for a year then?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what's happening? What do you plan on doing exactly?
At least be honest. Like if there was severe damage and then they're like kind of like what happened to World of Color, right? It was just gone for years and no one really said why. We all kind of like knew because of Twitter and people saying like, oh yeah, look at all the damage that happened, you know, like ruined the control room and this leak, blah, blah, blah. Like if Disney just said it out loud and was like, hey, we got like severe damage. It cost millions and millions of dollars. We got to make it up somehow. It's going to be delayed. Then I feel like we'd be like, oh, okay, that sucks. But, you know, but for us to be like, bring back World of Color. And then they're like silent on it. And then same with this. Like if they said like, oh, there's like severe damage. It's coming back next year. We're still trying to figure out how to bring like the main scene back. But for the meantime, we're doing this. I feel like I would take it easier, like versus all of us now is an uproar because we're like, what? We don't want this like 2.0 version from Disney World. We want like our Murphy back, you know?
Yeah.
I think they're so consumed about the way they tell their stories that they don't want you to think that this happened. Like they don't,
Sure.
like they don't.
Keeping it themed.
Yeah,
Right.
They're trying to keep, like anytime a ride shuts down or anything like that, they'll be like, well, the giant boulder got loose from Indiana Jones. What can we do? Sorry. Like they don't tell you what, you know, Walt's vision was always to, you know, forget about the outside world. And I feel like letting you know that, oh yeah, the whole entire bay for the Maleficent dragon is now just a complete, just smoldering pile of ashes, you know. They don't want to tell us that. They keep it to the chest. They want us to.
I want truth.
They want us to
I
think
want
about
truth.
Tinkerbell.
It does make you
Katrina,
think.
I was gonna say, Katrina, go get on your trench coat, your fedora, and you go find out why.
That's right.
You dig deep. You go.
Detective
Super
Katrina
dark.
at your service.
Absolutely, she's on the case.
Here she
And I
comes.
pop my cock and
Whoa.
I'm like,
Look out.
She's got a magnifying glass.
She does. Yeah, I often think though that to go almost a full year and not bring back sort of the icon of the show, and to say that there's going to be new effects, but you're returning without the dragon, and admitting that. I don't know what's happening in this year unless there truly is such structural damage that they have to fully rebuild things from within. Granted, every time they have come back with new effects added layer after layer over the last couple of years, it's always enhanced the show. I just can't imagine you have an entire program that revolves around really one iconic figure. Outside of Mickey, of course, you have the entire program and imagery of this Maleficent dragon being the ultimate villain in the story.
yeah.
To not have it be available when it returns, or to not have it present, is going to be very odd. Unless they find a way to bring in the imagery without the giant audio animatronic. I just don't know how they're going to do that. That won't feel cheap.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, all we need is bring back Peter Pan and just make it like a fun stunt show. Just circle the bay a couple times
just make
at
the,
different
make the
times
boat
of the
just go
night,
by.
you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. And then bring on my neon monkeys back, you know, like not the 2.0 version, but like my original OG monkeys. Like I'm totally happy. Or just change it all around and make like Pinocchio the bad guy.
Oh, whoa.
And then bring back the
Wow.
those like weird puppy thing, like the puppy things, like puppet, like the little
Puppy things.
puppetry that used
The
to come up.
you mean
know?
the marionette?
The marionettes.
Those
right.
things.
puppy-
That'd
You
be
know,
cool. But
that
honestly, they
is-
should bring like the Peter Pan show.
Yeah, that is actually a really
Here,
cool
here.
idea. Like they do that sort of thing like in Avengers Campus in a way. Like when you're just walking through and all of a sudden Spider-Man is putting on a little show. Like
There's,
I
like,
mean, I
5
know they
showings,
put
you
put
know.
like times up for it and stuff, but that'd be really neat if it was just kind of like one of those things like Five and Dime or Spider-Man, where you're just like walking past the rivers and all of a sudden there's like pirates sailing by. I think
that would be a lot of fun. I know
Yeah.
that last week they did announce that there will be the Jambalaya Jazz Band playing
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
barge, which will be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But I completely
But
agree.
more.
Let's use that island while things are out of commission and do some nighttime fun festivities out there. You're absolutely right, Tyler. There's a lot more that can be added. I mean, we're missing out on probably the greatest theme park show ever created with Fantasmic being removed. So let's really amp up the extras here to try and give the folks that are spending their hard-earned money a little something in return, since they're missing out on such an epic show. And we also turned it on over to you at the Kingdom Report over on YouTube, asking this poll question saying, how do you want Disneyland to handle the return of Fantasmic? 57% of you said, don't bring it back unless the dragon returns. 14% of you said, bring it back ASAP without the dragon. And 29% of you said, bring it back in 2024 with new elements. So agreeing with what Disney would like to do, bringing it back in 2024 with new elements. 29% of you said, we're cool with that. 14% of you, again, saying, bring it back ASAP without the dragon. So I guess in B mode. And then 57% adding, don't bring it back unless the dragon returns. So a little over half the audience saying, we want that damn dragon.
Yep.
What are you going to do about it, Garrett?
What am I going to do about it?
What are you going to do about
Well,
it? How are you going to fix it?
Listen, I got some balsa wood and some glue and a tin foil, and I'm making this thing so good. Right now, it's about
So good.
3 inches tall, but the detail is really nice. I think that you could use the. Why not add another barge in there? Because you know how Mark Twain and Riverboat Columbia or the sailing ship Columbia, they're on a track. What if you get a giant barge with and you make it just a dragon or some kind of effect? I don't know. Like, if you can't use the stage, then you have to use whatever elements there are, which is either utilizing drones, which is not happening really at the parks other than Disney Paris, or you can utilize the water and maybe make something there, or you create a new villain. Maybe you edit the show a little bit. Like you put Maleficent on hold, be like, you rest for a little bit. We're gonna bring in Chernabog or Captain Hook or Hades. You can do a whole Hades thing, and you don't have to use it all that much. You can use the screens. There really isn't a perfect way of doing this because the dragon is so iconic, and it's so much better than the Hollywood Studios version. Like you said, you were that much closer to the action. I remember as a kid holding onto the bars, like peeking through there. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so real. And now that they have all these new effects, you kind of don't want to have the show unless it has those elements. I'm fine with the B mode if it's done properly and correctly. Don't just do some cheap thing where like Maleficent stays on the ground, because the greatest effect is, she rises up into the sky, and then boom, the dragon appears. You're like, how did this happen? And the Imagineers, they can do it. If they're given a high enough budget, they can do anything. They really can.
Right.
So
if there's an unlimited budget, they
Yeah.
can do anything. Great point, Garrett.
Hey, Bob Chapek's pulling back from Marvel and Star Wars. Pump that into the Imagineers. Give them whatever they want. If they want sushi for lunch, you give them sushi for lunch. They will get this thing going, and they'll have a flying dragon by next week.
I think what if they just paint the
budget.
snake black and purple?
What a done deal.
I think that's it. New finale. They
Wow.
that snake that's in the jungle scene, just move it to the end, paint it black and purple, good to go.
Oh.
Seal
Hey,
the deal.
if they reach out to Universal, be like, hey, can we borrow How to Train Your Dragon real fast? We just need to borrow Toothless just for like a few months. We'll give him back when we're done. We just need a dragon real fast. I don't think it will go.
I don't think so either. But hey, I think about Walt Disney World's Fantasmic and that paper mache steamboat that they use from the garage that they built. You look at how that was put into effect and is acceptable. I can't wait to see what Disneyland comes up with when Fantasmic
Maybe we'll
3.0
get like a
returns?
cool Mushu dragon at the end, right? The big poof of smoke and then baby Mushu's right
Baby
there.
Mushu.
It'll be like
That'd be pretty
that's
fun.
the size it's gonna be.
That's all right. A Fantasmic that makes fun of Fantasmic. Brilliant.
I like it.
We'll call it Fantasmic 1.5. Done.
So
my
that's
God.
so meta.
So,
Let's do
Meta
it.
to the nth degree. That's right. And we want to know from all of you, when it comes to Disneyland returning Fantasmic next year, do you want to see that dragon? Is that sort of a deal breaker for you? Because they've kind of made it the thing that the whole show revolves around? Or are you interested in seeing what new effects they have? Let us know down in those comments. Disney trivia time has arrived. Let's do it. Get that trivia on. It is trivia time, and because we are closing out the month of July, it's all about Disneyland today with the Disney Trivia Minute. We are going to start with this question about the Storybook Land canal boats. In fact, we ask, the Storybook Land canal boats attraction was originally called what? Was it A, Storybook Adventure Boats, B, Disney's Story Canal, or C, Canal Boats of the World? Again, Storybook Land canal boats attraction was originally called what? Storybook Adventure Boats being A, B being Disney's Story Canal, or C being the Canal Boats of the World. Let us go to Katrina Manzone. The answer you have for us is?
Okay. We're gonna start from the beginning here.
Okay.
Oh,
I
boy.
can't wait for this
Here we go
thought
again.
process. Every week it gets better.
Boats.
Boats.
Canal.
A story.
With stories in the canal with boats.
Wow. Really
The
piecing it
Panama
together.
Canal?
Water. Lift
Yes.
the boats through the canal.
That's what water does, yeah.
It's crazy.
Absolutely
Buoyancy.
right.
It's called buoyancy.
Worlds
Mm.
also have canals, like
Yeah.
in around the world. There are canals in the world.
Lots of them.
But we have small worlds.
Oh my gosh.
With a canal.
Yeah.
With the boats
Right.
in it.
Feel like you're just saying a lot of
We're just-
things.
Yeah, we're just, we've explained boats. You got it.
I really don't know. Okay, can I see the questions again?
See the options. You got
Or the
Storybook
options, yeah.
Adventure Boats as A, Disney's Story Canal as B, and C being Canal Boats of the World.
You know, I'm just going to say Disney. You know, he is a very conceited man. He named it Disneyland.
Wow.
Um,
My goodness.
so
Thought he was very humble.
I'm
Conceited
between
man.
A and B. So I'm just going to say B.
B, Disney's Story Canal. And again, the reasoning on this team is always something I marvel at each week when it comes to trivia. Garrett, let's jump out to you. The Storybook Land Canal Boats attraction was originally called what? Storybook Adventure Boats, Disney's Story Canal, or Canal Boats of the World?
Oh, he brought out his glasses.
Thinking glasses.
Uh-oh.
Think much.
So
Think much.
I'm not going to go down the same route Katrina went because I'm
dare you.
afraid to go that route. I
Yeah,
don't.
don't think too hard.
I'm just gonna. I'm really bad at trivia. I don't know why. Usually I'm great at it, but on this show I'm
You are.
horrible. So
We've
I
learned
don't
this.
want to go with Katrina's answer because I just don't want to.
Okay.
It sounds
Wow.
good, but Disney Story. Love you, boo. But Disney Story Canal sounds good. But I don't know. Was Walt still alive when this came out? Yeah, he was. It was there. It was opening the attraction. I want to go with A.
A.
Storybook Adventure Canal, because adventure sounds exciting, and Walt would be all about. He always said we need more thrill attractions in the park, and before the Matterhorn, boom, you just throw adventure on there, you got it. Like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and you just throw wild in there, and it makes it more exciting.
So Storybook Adventure Boats. A. Very good. Tyler, what do you got for us?
I haven't seen anybody in the chat guess this one yet,
Oh.
and nobody else here has. But I am gonna go with C because I think that sounds right.
Again, with the brilliant reasoning.
I think that I've heard that said before.
Just choose C when you don't
So-
know things.
So I am
That-
going C, and you will
Or
all
crouch.
see
Oh,
that I'm
Aha.
will make
that you are right. Yes.
the answer right.
And Tony, off camera in the production area, what do you got for us when it comes to the Storybook Land Canal Boats attraction? What was it originally called? Storybook Adventure Boats, Disney's Story Canal, or Canal Boats of the World?
Well, I would never usually go with Tyler.
Oh,
But
Damn.
it's the Canal Boats of the World.
That's
Wow.
right. That's right. We
All
know.
right. Well, so 2 for Canal Boats of the World, and then an A and a B. We checked chat. David saying A. City Rider saying B. Judah saying A. Bob Smith is saying B as well. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners are Tony and Tyler, the
That's
canal
right.
boats of the world.
I don't like this game.
I guess I should have went with my reasoning because they can't have two worlds,
Oh my.
two Disney or small
I'm
world
still not following
and
you,
world
but-
canal.
Yeah, I don't understand the reasoning.
Anyway,
You keep thinking to yourself, though.
You
It's
think
adorable.
you think
I
they
think
changed the
hard.
name? You're saying you think they changed the name from that to when they put Small World in the park because there couldn't be two worlds.
yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
I can see that.
Next up on the Disney Trivia Minutes. What famed Disney artist sketched the original concept of Disneyland Park? Was it A, Peter Ellenshaw, B, Herb Ryman, or C, Mark Davis? Again, what famed Disney artist sketched the original concept of Disneyland Park? Peter Ellenshaw, Herb Ryman, or Mark Davis? Tyler, what do you got?
Yes, sir. I think I know this one.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
Did you hold one of these animators in your hand at an archive festival?
Yes, they have shrunk them all down. They're the size of Oompa Loompas now, and I
Frozen in time.
They kept them on ice, just like Walt Disney's head,
Which we know is
And-
true.
Yeah, which we all know is
under
true.
the Matterhorn.
Yes, under the Matterhorn. Yeah, he plays. He's got a metal robot body, and he plays basketball on the Matterhorn every day. Everybody knows that story. But I'm going with Herb Ryman.
Herbie Ryman.
That just sounds like sounds like my man right now.
He
so.
does. All right. Garrett, which gentleman are you going with? Peter Ellenshaw, Herb Ryman, Mark Davis, the famed Disney artist that sketched the original concept of Disneyland Park.
All of them have great names.
They do.
So, our name, like Garrett Hassel, doesn't sound like a very cool name, but those guys.
But when you
have
put the glasses
awesome
on,
names.
maybe it does.
Pretty cool.
But I'm gonna go with Mark Davis. Mark Davis is the only name that I actually recognize from there, and he sounds like a rock star that's gonna bring me a win here because I really need one.
That was like a couple weeks ago when you were like, Art Linkletter, that sounds like a cool name.
Hey, I'm gonna start going with what sounds cool, and I'll get style points. Like it's like, oh, you get an F on the paper, but it was really clever title, so we'll give you plus 0.1.
What a cool kid. Wow.
So F plus.
You and those glasses. Katrina, your response when it comes to the famed Disney artist sketched the original concept of Disneyland Park. Who was it? Peter Ellenshaw, Herb Ryman, Mark Davis.
See, I'm kind of with Gary where I'm like, I only know the name Mark Davis. And I'm like, but then the other two are like, I feel like it's probably one of you two. And Ellen Shaw sounds like a fun last name.
Oh my. All
but
right.
I think I'm going to go with my husband because he was right last time. And I really need to win. And if he's wrong, I'm going to give him a look.
Whoa. We don't want that.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
Wow.
It's about to
So
get dangerous.
it's like a win-win both ways. So I get to
Well,
look at him.
I got this. So,
But then-
welcome to the winning team.
Yay. Okay, cool. I'll go with him.
So Herb Ryman it is. And Tony,
At least I hope.
what do you got for us?
Well, when I was in college, I did a report
You did.
on Walt Disney.
Wow.
I did.
This is news.
Yeah. I
Why
did.
didn't you blink when I was
Well,
going to
wait,
stuff?
what
Tell me the
class was this
answer.
for?
And did you know Herbie the Love Bug was named after Herb? I'm just kidding.
Oh,
But no, yes.
I was
would
like,
say
more news.
Wow.
It's B.
really?
Yes.
Herb
Yes.
Ryman.
Yes.
All
Herbie.
right. Herbie,
You
Herbie.
can only just see his like happy face right now.
We check our chat room and we hear David saying B, Judith is saying C, and Bob Smith is saying B. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to what famed Disney artist sketched the original concept of Disneyland Park? B. Herb Ryman. Congratulations.
Yay!
Garrett, once again, being cool only gets you so far.
It's like how Gaston lives his life too. You can only your muscles and beauty can only take you so far, but
Yeah.
if you try and lock someone up, you just lose.
And then you get thrown off a cliff.
What a life lesson.
He wouldn't
Thanks
back
for playing, everybody. Whether you were in chat or here with me live, it means so much, especially if you're a loser. All right, you stick around. More Kingdom Report Live for you next. The Disney list has arrived, and today it is all about Walt Disney World. More specifically, though, we are zeroing in on Disney Springs, the exciting shopping, recreation, nightlife, entertainment district at the Walt Disney World Resort. And today we are going to be asking the team what makes the most of their visit to Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. The team, of course, being Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzone, Garrett Hassel, all hanging out with me here to talk about the magic of Disney Springs. This, of course, used to be the downtown Disney area of Orlando's property, and then several years ago got converted into this new oasis, this utopia of retail.
Yes.
And other things.
And Guy Fieri.
Get your chicken on. That's right.
Hey, that's bomb chicken. Don't be hating on that.
Don't be hating on that.
I'm not really hating on the chicken, but
Polite pig, please.
Planet Hollywood? No,
Can we
thank
get?
you.
Oh my! There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. A lot to experience there. But we are going to share with you some of the ways to make the most of your trip to Disney Springs. Some of the things that really stand out to us. Why don't we start with Garrett? What do you got for us, bud?
Well, I've done several vlogs on Disney Springs, and it's changed a lot throughout the years. And, you know, the number one thing that you can't experience anywhere else has to be Lululemon.
Lululemon.
Yeah.
No.
Woo.
Wow.
No, I used to work for Lululemon. You know, like, you just can't beat their stuff. No, don't go there. It has to be Gideon's Bakehouse. I absolutely love this place. Anytime I go there, I just need to get my half pound of cookie and just get cookie wasted because it is so delicious. There's a line always, but I promise you, it is so worth it. It is amazing. When I took Ariel's family there, and her sister Madeline ate 2 of these cookies by herself in a matter of 12 hours.
Whoa.
And I was
Dang,
just,
girl.
I was surprised. I said, Madeline, where's the other cookie? And she said, it's gone. I'm like, where?
It's
She's
in my
like,
belly.
I'm like, my gosh. And, you know, I'm a big guy, and everyone in Ariel's family is significantly smaller than me. So I was more impressed than angry that she ate 2 cookies by herself. I still got one myself. But Gideon's Bakehouse, it's to die for. Get it. I even got one of their metallic stickers. It's on my water jug, so that way anytime I walk around, I can rep the Gideon. So yeah, get some Gideon's Bakehouse. It was shown to me by my best friend Brendan and his wife Molly. So Brendan and Molly, thank you. They showed me the original location, and then they took me to this new one. So yeah, Gideon's Bakehouse, special place in my heart.
Great suggestion. There's always a line out the door. People are always ready for some Gideons, that's for sure. I know.
Smells good.
I have also partaken in the Gideons a few times, and I've tried to go the route of 2 cookies in one sitting. It's like impossible.
No.
It's way too much. And,
Have you guys
way
done
too
the
much.
hot cookie ice cream thing that they have, like the hot cookie hour?
I have not.
No, I have
God,
not
that
done
looks
it.
wild.
Oh my!
Like if I could eat it, I would do it.
I want that
You
now.
know, like the hot cookie and the cold ice cream, and then like then the ice cream gets in the cookie, and then it just like this like warm yummy.
Ooey gooey perfection.
That sounds really good. If I could have it, I would do it.
Oh my!
But it's like only for an hour. Like I think it's just like literally
Yeah.
just an hour.
I think that's why we've never done it too, because
like
it's
at
like
5 o'clock.
because I mean the line is like
because they're not in
You got
demand
to time
enough.
it out. You got to
Yeah.
time that thing out right.
yeah.
Let's make it even more of a limited time offer. I mean, the place itself feels limited time all the time because of the demand. And yeah, let's give a 1 hour window for something so amazing sounding. My gosh, come on, Gideons, what are you doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing, Tyler? A way in which you make the most of your time at Disney Springs.
I think the way to make the most of your time is to actually go at nighttime.
Oh,
I think that if you are going during the day, you can have a nice time there, but I feel that most of the restaurants kind of cater more to like a dinner setting, personally. I mean, they do have like Chicken Guy for lunch, or you can go to Deluxe Burger or Blaze or something like that. Like, yeah, there's plenty of lunch things there too, but not only are you going to be in the hot sun while you're walking around that mall, but also there's just a lot less entertainment. If you're there at night, there's plenty of live entertainment, and if you're lucky, you can even run into, now I'm going to blank on his name, Eddie Maserati,
oh, right.
who doesn't even work at, he has
Mr.
nothing to do with
Ferrari.
Disney.
Nope.
And he just wears pins and jean jacket and
short shorts
and short shorts, and he dances at all of these.
Everything's bedazzled.
sparkly outfit.
He's
with
like
his hat.
The unofficial mayor of Disney Springs.
He really is.
And he dances. That's the cutest part. Is every time there's music, he's just dancing, having a ball.
Boogie.
It's a sight
He's
to
the best.
behold.
He is so nice too. He is so nice.
You hang out with him often, Garrett?
You know,
Mr.
he and I,
Maserati, come
like,
with
I'm trying to get matching jackets. I want to, he's got the Maserati and the Ferrari. I'm trying to see if he can get like something embroidered with like a Porsche on there. So we're trying to work out something.
Awesome. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, he and I are besties.
Nice.
You seem like you'd be real close. That's great.
Yeah, we boogie on out.
Do you have a jacket with a lot of pins on it?
Not at the moment. It's in the shop.
But you have
It's
the
in the
short
shop.
shorts.
It's in the
though.
shop. Yeah, that's where I put
Party too
all my
hard,
jackets
the
go to the
pins pop
shop.
out.
Yeah.
But the short shorts, we know it. We've seen it.
But to finish up on my nighttime thought process too is like we were talking about Gideon's earlier. It's like I feel that way. Like that's the time when you're in Florida. The time to eat something sweet and heavy is like at night. Don't do yourself a favor and do not eat in the middle of the day
Or for
when the sun
breakfast.
is like beating down on you and making you feel bad about all of your choices. So
Makes
like
it a colorful picture.
so that's the fun thing about going at night too is it's like they've got bars like the Hangar Bar that is just like a nice, you can just pop in, walk up to the bar, get a to-go drink, walk around the rest of Disney Springs, get a Gideon's, go get sprinkles. I think that's just like the prime time to check out all the stuff, and then at the very end you can go to Adventurers Club and the Comedy Club. No, actually, I'm sorry.
Oh.
What?
And I'm
Oh.
Pleasure Island's gone, brother.
It's
I thought you were
gone.
about to say
Thanks
Disney
a
Quest
lot.
too. We'll finish
So-
up the night.
Disney Quest. I miss Disney Quest. That
Hey, no,
you know.
we're doing the NBA experience.
No.
I think it really did well.
No.
That
Michael
doesn't
Eisner
exist.
misses Disney Quest. That's for sure.
It was stuck in the 90s, but it
Michael
was
is.
amazing, even to
yeah.
the day it closed. But Disney Springs, great time. I would say the only thing I was gonna say a second one, but I'm just gonna throw it out.
Throw
real
it
quick.
out there. Go.
Avoid T-Rex Cafe at all costs.
Why would you say that?
Whatever you do not go to T-Rex Cafe ever. Even if your kids are insistent on going to like one of these themed restaurants, at least like Rainforest Cafe is at least a little bit better.
Disown the children.
Just don't go. Tell your kids that the T-Rexes will eat them if you go. Don't go. I'm telling you.
Parent.
Okay.
That's why
Parent
nobody
of the
walks
year
out
over
of there.
this guy.
Yeah. Good luck
Just-
to those kids.
Just remember what I said. When you get dragged to T-Rex Cafe and you're like, why did I come here? Remember my face and remember what I told you.
Well, there it is. Parenting
The
advice.
the Prophet Tyler.
That's right. Prophet Tyler, parenting advice from the theme park analyst himself.
That's right.
That's right.
guy.
Go to Rainforest Cafe, he says.
If you have
If
to.
you have
If
to.
you have to. That's the second one. That's the second from the bottom. However, it's not the bottom like T-Rex Cafe is.
Seems like that was the headline from the comment was go to Rainforest Cafe.
I guess
Tyler-
TK is a little bit above T-Rex, but then like Rainforest Cafe is like a little bit above STK.
and Blaze Pizza is right in between. No, I'm just kidding. It's outstanding.
I would rather go to Blaze than
I
if
would
you,
too.
Oh my God, he's
it's
gonna go on a
incredible. He
tangent
will.
just like Smuggler's Run.
Rein it in,
Don't even
Tyler. It's
start.
okay. We're just
don't
playing.
Calm down.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Save yourself.
Oh my, Katrina, a way in which you would make the most of your Disney Springs experience. What would you do?
Okay. You guys ready?
I would like to hear it.
Raglan Road. Just 100%.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah,
All
Raglan
in.
Road is an Irish pub. It's so cool, and they have like Irish dancers they go inside and outside of the restaurant. So fun, and then they have like a band that sings outside. It's always just like a fun vibe, and on top of it, they have a lot of gluten-free stuff. Like literally
Yeah.
90% of their menu can be made gluten-free. And they have gluten-free fish and chips. They have gluten-free onion rings. They have gluten-free a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm obsessed. So I always want to go and just get onion rings and eat them. And I'm not used to eating like tons of fried foods. Then my mouth gets like ripped up because of crunchy items. And then they're so good because they're like light and fluffy. And they use just like, I think it's just like the gluten-free flour and then like club soda, I think is what they said.
Wow.
And love.
And love.
So
Naturally.
it's so good, so great, and they have like tons of food, and just it's really fun like when you sit inside the main area because they just have like a little like duel of Irish dancers, and then they have like a really cool bar too. So if you don't have reservations, they have a pretty like massive bar where you can just kind of like pop in and see if they have like a seat over there. But it's always good. It's always for a fun time. But if you get headaches, then maybe not go inside, but eat outside.
The acoustics in that
The
place,
acoustics is very, very loud.
Yeah.
But it's always really fun. And I love seeing the kids' faces because they're like mesmerized by their feet. They're like, as they're like dancing and doing like a little duel.
How can they do that?
Oh my gosh, they do. They move really fast. I'm even mesmerized. I was like, what's happening? But anyway, it's great.
Well, and the last time we went there too, we sat on the outside patio where they had just a nice little band set up.
Yeah, it was really relaxing.
And they were taking recommendations. They were taking requests, and I asked them to play like Mumford and Sons Little Lion Man, and it was banging.
And they made it PG.
And, yeah.
Naturally.
They took out the...
They were really good, too. I was like,
F
how?
word.
How do you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
A whole lot of the F word. Fun.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. And I would suggest that if you are looking to maximize your experience in Disney Springs, head on over to the Coca-Cola building, right across from the beautiful Chicken Guys quick service option. 3 stories of Coca-Cola masterpiece. Second floor, meet the dang polar bear that you know you want to take a picture with.
Wow.
And then head on up to the 3rd floor open penthouse deck that takes a look out onto Disney Springs. Get yourself a Coke float,
Whoa.
a libation. Enjoy
What about
the
Beverly?
scenery. Enjoy the beauty of the nearby waterways, the giant balloon that you can take up into the air just alongside the waterfront. There is such a moment to be had at the top of the Coca-Cola building. Highly suggest it. How do you make the most of your trip to Disney Springs? We'd love to hear from you. Throw it down in them comments. You stick around. Kinder Report Live wraps up for you straight ahead. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. Because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors. Frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. Time for the one thing. Something good, bad, or a little of both. This time around, we are focusing on what Garrett has on his mind, sliding on into the lifestyle known as Magic Kingdom, the personality known as Disney that some of us just can't shake. Garrett, you have something good, bad, or a little of both for us?
I got something that's a little of both, but mine's going to be the good, bad, and the ugly. And
Oh.
I'm talking about...
What a turn.
Yeah. Good Clint Eastwood film. I'm talking about Tron Light Cycle Run. I recently went on this thing that I've been waiting for 5 years, and let me tell you about it. First, the good. 3 things. It is the latest thrill attraction at Magic Kingdom, and let's be honest, folks, we kind of needed it after Splash Mountain closed down. We've only got a few other ones. We've got Space Mountain. It's a small world, and we've got Big Thunder Mountain. That's the thrill attractions right now out there.
Small
With this one, it is just so beautiful. Look at those lights. Gorgeous.
Yeah, that drop in Small World is intense. I agree.
Small World, man. That, especially when it does the 360 spin and the flip. Ooh.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, the second good thing about this is it doesn't go down with bad weather because the track is completely covered. It does not go down when there's lightning or thunder, which tends to happen in the summer months at Walt Disney World for some reason. I don't understand how.
There goes
that
Tyler.
works.
Whoa!
Yeah. What? I'm jelly. I didn't get a ride with him.
I didn't get to
The
ride with
third
you
good
either.
thing is that the experience effects and just the overall ride just leaves you feeling like a kid. When I went on this, from the moment I entered the queue where I saw, getting scanned into the ride, and then you see the launch vehicles and you see the identity disc. It's so cool watching the original movie and then watching Tron Legacy and just hearing that amazing soundtrack by Daft Punk, and then getting to experience this. It is out of this world. I loved it. The bad, I wish it was a little bit longer. Honestly, I wish it was, because it launches you 0 to 60 and it's fast. At nighttime, the ride is way better than daytime. So if you go out at like 11 in the morning, it's hot and you don't get to see all these cool lights because, there's light outside. And then if you are trying to get on the ride, you either got to get lucky with the virtual queue, or it can cost you a lot to go on the lightning lane. So just beware. If you're a big family, it can cost you a lot. And here's for the ugly. It makes the rest of Tomorrowland look like garbage, because frankly, the rest of Tomorrowland does look like garbage. They can't figure out what the theming is.
Wow.
And this just,
You don't like metal palm
no.
trees?
No, I do not like metal palm trees. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
Disneyland's Tomorrowland isn't anything to write home about, but it looked a lot better than this.
Does it?
See, I agree with you, but I think that Tomorrowland is the worst looking land in both of those parks. Like,
Oh, it is, but
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom is worse than Disneyland, so that's like being the
Is it,
bottom of
though?
the barrel.
I don't know. I feel like Magic Kingdom at
There's
least
People
has
Mover.
people mover going around,
You
and
feel like Disney
Hey,
Worlds might
hey,
be a
yeah.
little more aesthetically pleasing to me.
Except there's
I
like
don't know.
random light posts that they just added in by Lilo and
those
or
light-
like the Stitch.
Those light
thing.
posts have personality.
What
They
is
do.
it for?
There's a lot of charm there.
Yeah. Another ugly thing is that I'm happy that they put in IP, but an original ride would be amazing. I'm still waiting for them to come out with more original attractions rather than using intellectual property. But don't get me wrong, after seeing this ride come out at Shanghai Disney and putting it here, I'm like, yes, finally, I don't have to fly 3,000 miles and spend a lot more money to try and enjoy it over there. Here, I can enjoy it, and it's Walt Disney World, got the annual pass. And then finally, why was this not put in at Disneyland when you can get rid of, Launch Bay and all that? But if you had to put it somewhere, I'm glad it's not just overseas. I'm glad it's somewhere here in the domestic parks. But yeah, Tron Light Cycle Run, I honestly give it a solid 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. I wish it was a little bit longer, but the effects of the launch are so cool. And if you are launching on it and you lean back, you can actually do a whole like Superman effect, which I did, and Ariel was not a big fan of that. She was like, put your arms down, you're going to get them chopped off. And I'm like, I am going into the grid. I'm going all out right now.
Wow.
And Daft Punk's playing in the background.
yeah, get
You
gritty.
made it out.
So much. Yeah.
On
Yeah,
top
you-
of it. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
He almost launched through the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not cry on this ride like I did on Expedition Everest. This one,
My man is growing up.
Joy.
He's becoming a man.
Yeah, I got a little hair on my chin. But yeah, Tron Light Cycle
Good for
Power Run.
you.
If you haven't done it, please go do it. It's a lot of fun. Go on it at night if you can. Lightning Lane does go pretty dang fast, but I loved it. And if any of you want to come ride with me, please do. And if you aren't able to transfer onto the vehicle, they do have a sort of sit back ride, like on the back of the train. And I've seen that, and that looks really cool because it reminds me of the car from Tron Legacy that Cora drives.
I like that
Or
one
Cara-
more.
Cara, yeah.
The sit back.
The caboose.
Oh, the caboose.
The
yes.
caboose.
I like the caboose. I don't like this one. No.
I will
Makes a difference.
say,
I know.
like, if as long as we're talking about that real quick, like for people who need to use an ECV in that ride, it's very treacherous, and they will not let you take one in there. They give you a push wheelchair, so keep that in mind if you're gonna ride this ride and you really can't. You need your ECV and you don't have anybody to push you on the wheelchair, then unfortunately you're not gonna be able to get in there. 'Cause
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame, that they went with the plans from, Shanghai, and they did not take into account that Americans maybe need a little more space.
Churro loving guests.
But
That's us.
That's just something to keep in mind.
Very good. Well, thank you for that. And Garrett, thank you for giving the good, the bad, and a little both there. The ugly, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Grateful to have heard your impressions of Tron Light Cycle Run, and certainly grateful that Magic Kingdom has just a little bit more capacity in it with that ride. Regardless of what it is, Keep putting in attractions there. They need it, that's for sure. Capacity is a thing that every one of those parks absolutely can benefit from. And we want to know from you, is Tron Lightcycle Run something that is on your must-do list? Do you go out of your way for it? Have you done it yet? Let us know down in them comments. All right, friends, we are just about wrapped up here. For all of us at the Kingdom Report, it means so much that you could drop by. Whether you watch live or, as we know, the majority of you do on demand after the fact, it means so much to be a part of your weekend or a part of your weekday, depending on when you see this. Regardless, thanks for being a part of our day. And we want to remind you that we will be back next week. Some special guests filling in for Tyler and Katrina, heading out to Walt Disney World, which is yay, yay, hooray.
Yay, yay,
Fun.
hooray.
Yay, yay, hooray!
Yay!
Fun and good times.
Yay, humidity! So
Yay,
excited.
humidity. Yeah, who doesn't love going to Orlando in August?
Rain! Wow! Yeah!
Your hair gonna be crazy, Katrina.
I know, it's going to go in braids. Like full on braid ponytail.
The last
That's
thing
it.
I'm worried about is her hair. We are going to die. Let's not worry about hairstyles. We may never come back. If you don't see us on this show,
Wow.
we melted.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
Can
Wow.
we note this for a
Hey,
second?
can you leave your mugs
What
behind
is
just in
happening?
case? If you don't make it back, I want your mugs.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No, I'm going to
Will
take it
them
with
to
me.
Garrett, please. No. There it is.
Come and get it. Pry from my cold, dead hands.
Whoa, his humid, sweltering hands.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we wish you two an amazing trip, and we'll be back with you next week, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and never forget the legacy of Walt Disney. It lives on because of people like you and me. See you next Saturday for an all-new edition of Kingdom Report Live.